Okay, I think we can conclude that Obama's speech today was very, very telling and very futuristic too. Because what you're looking at now is Psalm 46, and this is the exact transcript of what he said on the stand today. And he said, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, even though the earth will be removed, and though the mountain be carried into the midst of the sea, though its waters roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with its swelling. There is river, those streams shall make glad, the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacle of the Most High. God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. God shall help her just at the break of dawn. The nations raged, the kingdom were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Come behold the works of the Lord, has made desolations in earth. He makes war cease to the ends of the earth. He breaks the bow and cuts the spear in two. He burns the chariot in fire. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted amongst the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Psalm 46. So, what you're actually looking at here is a future picture of what is to come. And I'm not so lucky today, and yet I'm still a little lucky. I do get to see the moon, just in a brief moment. But I just wanted to, give my 5 cent, 10 cent, or whatever you say, my 2 cent, on all this stuff. He's pretty much telling you, bad times are coming, and it's regarding the entire world. It is not just here in America, it is everybody. And if you look closely on these pictures today, what the heck was that? Yeah, I don't know what that was. It's probably just a bug. And now the moon's gone again. But he's pretty much saying it, is he not? Let's look it up again while we're waiting for the moon to return. There you have it. That's his words. It's written in future. It is future. He's preparing you to not live in fear. He's preparing you for all the terrible things to happen. And he's comforting you with God is in the midst of her and amongst you. Well, that is nice. Absolutely. At any time welcome that. But why is he saying that on such a day? Why is he not talking about back then? How was the situation back then? Well, he did not have that experience himself, because he was not president. He was not in that kind of situation like George Bush, who looked like one big giant. Bad conscience. He knew something, just like the day on 9/11 10 years ago, where he was sitting in that classroom and you could see his eyes. His eyes. Go back and look at it. He knew. He knew. It does not require much of a body language reader or a psychiatrist to read what he just exuded there. He knew. Obama knew too. That's why he's going to Colorado, on the very day where ELEnin makes his last and final alignment. You see what I mean? And now there's this talk about the YU-55, which might be on collision course. Yeah, there is a slight possibility, yeah. It might just be the one that hits us. We don't know. And maybe that X out in the Pacific Ocean up in the Atlantean Islands by Alaska, maybe that one is also true. It's placed there, and it's placed many places in order for us to just sit and debunk each other. It might just be what it is. But we'll see. Time will tell. Definitely. So let's go back to the moon and see if we can catch a little of it. Just a little for today. It would be nice. Show yourself. I have been longing to sit out here and do this stuff and share some thoughts. But I have had 5 days in a row, rain, on off, and 2 days before that we were hammered, literally hammered with chemtrails. Out of nowhere they just kept coming. I'm not kidding you, they kept coming. Back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. All day. I've never seen it so vigorously carried out. They were flying parallel lines, and they made X's, and they even made squares. They made it all that day. And why, I don't know. But if you look at these pictures here of the moon, you clearly see some bluish colors coming through. When the light from the moon is reflecting as it should. Right now I'm in a little clear spot. Absolutely clear. And in a moment some clouds are coming in. And if you look at the color it's beginning to take, it seems like that the clouds serve like a good filter here. It enhances some details. Makes better contrast on the picture. And yeah, now I'm flicking my lighter, and no, it's not a fatty. It is a hand-rolled cigarette, which I've been doing for the last 20 years, and now I flicked my Zippo. Now I closed it and put it back on the table. Are you happy now out there? And if you look here at the rim here, look at these very high protrusions on the rim. And now you see the clouds are coming in. But look here. It is kind of like there's colors, and look how luminous these are. They freaking light through the clouds even. Come on. It can almost not be any clearer, and in small 5 minutes we get at least 2 hours of clear sky. Ooh, I can't wait. I can't wait. And now I've got to flick my lighter again. Sorry about that. Hell no. This is my time. This is my channel. If I smoke a cigarette while I'm making a video, I smoke a cigarette while I'm making a video. Any complaints? You can click in left corner. I don't care. I really don't. Insult too. Well, you can sit and write a whole novel on my comments too. All you get for your insult is 3 clicks. One is to block you and make sure you can't contact me again from that channel, and then remove your comment. Ta-da! And you just sat there and wasted what? 5 minutes, and you can't even spell? Come on. Just leave it. Just leave it. It ain't gonna change anything. It is what I say. Direct insults like that, you bye. That was your last words. You're forgiven, but you blew it. You blew it. And Now the moon is beginning to come out again. Yoo-hoo! And now we get a long stretch of no clouds. Gosh, I've been waiting for this. Yay! There it is. The Terminator is extremely crisp today. I am still inside a little cloud cover. That is impressive. Look at the Terminator. It is good looking. And the last little patch is coming through. So what do you know? United States last president, Barack Hussein Obama, he just signed the fate worldwide of all of us. Something is coming. Something is going to happen. Guess what? It's coming from up there. Something up there is gonna make a serious problem to us. And look at these colors which is emerging while it's being filtered through the clouds. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. And luckily today that was another insect. Yeah, let's just call it insects, okay? Then we don't speculate. You know, it could be something else, right? Well, I don't know. It's been a while since I've been looking at the moon like this because I haven't had the chance. It seems like there's more light on the moon today than the previous times. There is more illuminated spots on the surface here. A very good Terminator. I did a test with a 9mm eyepiece and put the digital on top of it. Well, it worked on a lamppost some 300 yards from here. It worked pretty good. I had at least 40% magnification. And I just thought, oh, if I can do that with the moon. Ooh. Well, I tried and nothing showed. I could not find anything. So I gave it up. Have to find another solution. I want to get closer. I want to get down on all these very bright spots and see what the heck is that about. Look at all this. Look at the rim there. Those protrusions standing there. They almost look like constructs. And if you look right here, right there, on that little part there, let's go up again, up here, and then go a little over, and let the moon fall in. I don't know if it's my eyes playing tricks on me, or where the heck did it go? I need to go down here. But if you look closely on number 2, the top one of them, okay, come down, right there, it looks like there is something sticking up. It could be digital errors, but it does look like there is something right there, just past that bump. It looks like there's something sitting right there, and it doesn't look like it's kind of like a part of the moon, if you get my drift. I have to move very fast today. Moon is high, so it seems like it's moving faster, but it is not. Oh, another insect. They're busy tonight. Could be a bat. That is possible, but it definitely looked like there... What the heck? It gotta be an insect. Go away from my lens. Confusing me. Make me think it's an alien. Well, let's take the whole rim around while we got the chance. I really like to look at the rim. But it definitely also there looks like there is something right there. You see it? It looks like there is something there. It could just be in the back of the crater rim. I can't say. But they could rotate the moon a little so I can see what the heck I'm looking at. Let's see the backside of the moon. Come on, rotate it. It is funny that the moon is not rotating. The moon has twice as much gravitational pull in Earth than the sun has. The Earth is so-called spinning, right? And the moon is spinning around. And according to NASA, a lot of this moon is comprised of iron. It got a north pole and a south pole, just like Earth. Why is it that the moon, by its own rotation and the gravitational pull there is between the Earth and the moon, why is it the moon is not being rotated itself, opposite direction? Kind of like two spokes. Why is that? Why is there not a self-induced rotation on the moon? I would like to have an idea why that is. Because they are provoking each other. They kind of have a little tug of war. The only time where the moon kind of wins, that is when it's over the ocean. Where the moon is when it's above, well, let's just say the Pacific Ocean. If it's in the middle, there's a bulge of water standing up 90 feet trying to reach the moon. Not kidding. And that's what's driving this tide and floods. And yet, why is the moon not rotating? I think that's quite an interesting question. And over so many millions of years, as 4.5 billion years, one would assume that somehow the moon would have been kick-started and have its own rotation. Maybe not a fast rotation like Earth, that if Earth is spinning. There's some theorist that says it is not. It's a deception. It's all a lie. Well, that won't surprise me. NASA is the definition of lies. Totally. But again, and I would like to repeat myself again on this one, because this is crucial for a lot of people to understand and ask some questions around. And that is, why do NASA come out in 1983 on 31st of December saying they found a mysterious heavenly body? And quite shortly after that they come out and say they made a mistake. And ever since that they started chemtrailing, and frantically they have been building 150 plus underground facilities to survive in for several years. It is said that Russia have someone over there which they can stay in for 2 centuries. That is quite significant time. Why would they want to build it for lasting that long? Is the devastation and desolation on Earth going to be so bad that they need to be hidden for that long? Heck, who knows? One day in heaven is 1,000 years on Earth, so we don't know. We just don't know when the new world order will emerge. Actually, we don't. We know when it will, and that is when the peace treaty is being signed. Then we know what it's all about. Then it's now. And funny enough, which appears on the 29th of September in the morning hours, on sunrise, that is, that the woman clothed in the sun with the moon at her feet and 12 stars in her hair and her head, plus ELEnin creating a tiara above her head, and Venus in her womb, and Saturn too. That's the sign which is in Revelation 12, and that is going to be on the sky of September 29th at sunrise. This sign you will never see again. This is a one of a lifetime, because the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, right? And it shall fall over and never rise again, meaning pole shift. After a pole shift, we have a complete refiguration of our star picture from that view we are standing on. So everything will look different to us. There will be a new heaven, pretty much. Therefore, the sign in the woman clothed in the sun will not ever take place again. It is the final warning, people. And then it all begins. All the bad stuff. All that you call us fear-mongering for telling you about. We have a responsibility, us that know what's going on, and see what's going on, and hear what's going on, to inform you about what's going on. We have to. I can't go back from what I know now. I can't. It is impossible. I would love to go back to being ignorant and just think the world is a sad and beautiful place at the same time. Sad meaning all the poverty and all the wars and all the hate there is in this planet, this world. And yet when you look upon Earth on satellite feed, just like from the International Space Station when they do some panorama footage of the planet, isn't it beautiful? It is magnificent. And what are we doing? We are destroying it. And we're even letting it happen. And we are letting a bunch of goons, 6,000 of them, determining our fate, our future here on planet Earth. We're simply just letting them step in over us all the time. But they build bunkers. They start creating FEMA camps. There's now 800 of them here in America. I think there's 32 in Europe, meaning they don't need that many. Meaning, according to Conan Doyle's prophecy, Europe be a vast cemetery. So what do they need a camp for? They only need a hole in the ground, right? So they built FEMA camps, detention areas where they can house 200,000 each. That they do. They in kind of secrecy build a telescope at the South Pole. They shut down the VICE satellite, which is able to find anything moving up there in the infrared spectrum. But the problem is, this VICE telescope they had up there was also in public domain, meaning you can go in and check up on data, and there you yourself, if you know what to look for, you could find that something is actually approaching us. And you can actually also kind of estimate its size, its speed, so on. And that will kind of give them away, obviously. They're also calling the ambassadors home, all 260 of them, back to America. Speedy Gonzales, Hillary Clinton wants them back. Are they getting the last dossiers for what is coming? Are they just waiting for their boarding signal so they can go on their arks before whatever comes? And will come. There's absolutely no escape from this. It will come. We got troops moving away from the coastlines, moving inland. Area 51 has been repositioned to Colorado. And funny enough, that is in that vicinity most of these underground bunkers are being built, or have been built. They are already finished and operational. Probably nuclear. Probably. Or maybe some smart alien tech. Because when they're down there, they know they're gonna get buried. They would like to live for a little while, and they can't sit down there with a nuclear meltdown, can they? What if the cooling system don't work? That would not be good. But they think they will live. Oh yeah, they do. Pretty naive. If you're gonna have a crustal shift, every mountain will be moved out of its place. Every little crevice, every little tunnel dug by man will fall apart. It doesn't matter how many bunkers they built and what they built it of, it will be crushed. Even if it was titanium, it would be crushed. Earth is a little more powerful than they think. But all these measures being taken, keeping us distracted with bad economy. There is no bad economy, it's just them stealing your money. It is that simple. It's just taking your money, and then they say, well, it's not going that good. And in reality, it's big corporations taking over all the other smaller businesses and killing them off. And then you're left with monopoly. And nowhere to run to. You've got no alternatives. And guess what? When this truck stops moving and the airplanes stop flying, what do you think is going to get on your shelves in Walmart, Myers, Kroger's? Nothing. So if you haven't stocked up on some food, you better know how to learn how to use a slingshot. You're gonna need it, because there ain't gonna come any food on the shelves. And according to my intel, we have 57 days of ration of food to supply for every single American. That is not a long time, is it? And when those 57 days are up, that would be quite fast. We will start starving to death, because there will be no ships coming to port. There will be no trucks driving and no airplanes flying. You see all the signs: earthquakes, volcanoes, insane weather patterns. We got 4 incoming, crossing Earth orbit. in these months. We have a president, well, that can be debated. We have an imposter in the White House. Talking about future event, not what was in the past. If you can't put 2 and 2 together here, then there's absolutely no hope for you. I'm sad to say that. I know that sounds very arrogant, but there is absolutely no hope. If you don't wake up now and face the music. Come on. Troop movements, right? Bunkers built, FEMA camps everywhere, right? All this fuss about what's going on in space. The International Space Station's being abandoned after receiving 7 tons of food, and they're abandoning the space station on that excuse, lack of provision. They just received provision. Okay. NASA space shuttle program just scuttled from one day to another. NASA going out and warning their 90,000 employees to have a bug out bag ready. And yeah, we have a Swiss banknote freaking depicting something coming in our solar system. And on the other side of it, what is there? Giants. Nephilims. Doesn't it ring a bell? Even you atheists out there. It's written in the big black book about the demons, about the aliens, about the fallen angels. It's right there. Because it's the truth. Once there were giants in the land, and as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the coming of the Son of Man. They are coming back. You call them Anunnaki, most of you. I just call them fallen angels, because that's what they all are. All of them. And you're thinking you're looking at a crater right now, right? No, you're not. You're looking at a giant dome which light is emanating from. A lot of light. It is a very bright spot on the moon. But you need to get it. I can't force you, but it is so paramount for you that you understand what's really going on. We have a cosmic event upon our head right now. It is upon us. It's not something coming. It is already here. The question is, where is Obama's next speech gonna come from? Is it gonna come from a bunker somewhere in Denver area, below the airport or something? CEOs are also stepping down, so-called retiring. Why is that? All of a sudden? What do we need seat vaults for that can last 1,000 years? What's important about that? And think about who is sponsoring those seat vaults. Bill Gates, Rockefeller. And who are they a part of? They are part of the depopulation agenda. They are the big spokesmen for that. Sometimes looking at the moon here, it really looks like it kind of have an atmosphere. I'm telling you, I have clear blue sky, or clear night sky. Look at this. It looks like there's something above the surface floating, not on the surface. You can kind of sense it's like a veil you're looking through. You can even sense coloration up there. Right now I have a full moon to look at, meaning the light reflecting from the moon is extremely bright. I could try and see if I could dim it a little, just a little. Let's see, move this one over here to the side so it doesn't disturb that much. Okay, let's take exposure. Okay, that was a little too much. I think you need to go down there. Oh, that was not good. Okay, let's go back to auto. That's auto. If I kick it out now, it became all white. Let's go down in the other end then. See if that helps. It did. Good. So far so good. And where is the brightness? And a little contrast. That one I will leave alone. Looked like it got blurry there. So it's quite clear to me that the imposter, Obama, told you something. Something about the future. And if you sit there with doubt, well, it's okay. But in the end of this video, I'm gonna put it in. You just saw the text. Now you can get his own words. And then pay good attention to his body language while he's talking. If you want my opinion, even though that he is secure, or feel he is secure, we don't know. He might be, you know, he vanished. Or he might be the Antichrist, which someone is speculating he might be. I can't say. I can say who the Antichrist is when the peace treaty is signed. And you know, he's the one. And still, even if I here change some settings, it still kind of appear like that this is bluish colors. Bluish. Looking very interesting tonight, the moon. So has anyone found out what that black dot is on that sunrise down at Niemeyer station at the South Pole? I haven't. I just know it's not the disk of the sun we are looking at. It's something else. And no, I didn't see anything kind of energy coming out of that bright spot. I couldn't really see that because it's so fuzzy. But that black dot is very profound. is circular. Yeah, it could be an orb. Could be many different things. But one thing is sure, it is not a digital blackout from the sun disk. Or is it called a bake out? I don't know. But that is it not. It's something else. Wondering about that little dream I was reading up for you, but this little girl had, where she saw something crash into the moon, and then it crashed down on Earth, the debris from it. Heck, what should that be? Could that be that YU-55? It's passing between Earth and the moon. But could it just be that even that it's being kept, secret from us? That one is actually coming in at the right time and hitting our moon. And from that on, it'll start raining fire on the sky. Literally raining fire. Well, if you're quite honest to yourself, you must know something ain't right. And it is as Obi-Wan Kenobi says, search your feelings. Search them long. Search deep. Because deep down inside, even if you are in denial of all these things that's going on here on Earth and in space, you will find your answer in there. Your soul will tell you. Just let it. Open your mind. I'm guaranteeing you, what you get from the media is not even close to the truth. And why is it Comet ELEnin is not being spoken about in the media at all? All the other comets, Hale-Bopp, Halley's, and the Japanese Hayakusa, or whatever it's called, they were publicized big time. Go out and watch. It's spectacular. Once in a lifetime. Right? But not a word about ELEnin. Not a word. And yeah, that was an insect again. Don't worry about it. So why is it they're not talking about ELEnin at all? Why is it they're shutting down the space shuttle? Why is it they're abandoning the space station? Why is NASA warning their employees? Why is Obama going out and talking about future? Very, very dire words. Extreme dire. He's pretty much saying the same as I've been telling you for the last year. You need to get your act together. You need to take that finger out your navel, or your butt for that matter, if that's the case, if it's that hard, and realize that something is up. It is not just conspiracy theories all the time. There are actually facts out there that you can choose to look at. And not combing us over the same brush and all call us all nutcases and so on. We all have our own way of telling you about what's going on. I have my way. If I know you're in serious danger, and if I know if you don't get away from there, you will die, I will tell you that. I won't say to you, I think it's a good idea if you move away. You know, no. I will simply tell them, if you stay here, then you don't. Then you go feet first. That's how I am. Ain't gonna change that. Because people deserve the truth. The God honest truth. No cotton and wool here. There's no time for cotton and wool. It's now we mount. And then we get ready to be out in nature. You better learn how to make a fire. Go out in your garden and test it. And be good at it. Because you're gonna need some fire out there to keep warm. Because at some point you have to leave your home. Either because it's crumbled because of earth changes, maybe because of war, or maybe because you want to flee from the UN soldiers, Chinese soldiers, Russian soldiers, and whatever soldiers which is here telling you what to do, when you are absolutely a free man. From that moment on, your government is dissolved and you have what they call a martial law. You are not to obey that at any circumstances. You have my word for that. Do not submit. It ain't worth it. I ain't saying you have to go out and do something, violently. But disobedience, slowing them down, do whatever it takes to make their job miserable and hardship. Do that. Actually, there's a little story about in Denmark, the Danish Liberation Army during the Second World War. Well, they were not out to kill the German soldiers. That was not in their intent at all. No, what they did was they slowed down their work for them, so they didn't get the provision in time. In all the concrete constructions they made for their bunkers and so on, they put half sugar in it in order to make the rainwater to make them crumble and fall on them, to destroy their way of warfare. And we blew up their railroad tracks, big time. They thought they fixed it. They always had railroad tracks with them to repair because they knew there could be a risk of sabotage. Well, they got a few miles down the stretch and then there was another explosion. That's what we did. We made it very hard for them to operate. And that is the best mean possible, because then you demoralize them. You make them frustrated. Because you see, even if he is a soldier, I've been a soldier myself, even if I'm trained, programmed to do certain things and blindfolded, I often felt frustration because there was something in the mission that didn't work. And that was pretty annoying, because you had planned it all and it just didn't work. And that's how it is for normal people too. If you have something planned out, you really wish to carry out, and then it just fails, all of it, then you get really and then you have a tendency to resign and just give it up. Same go for a soldier. He wants to be successful in what he does. So do you. So I'm not an agitator of violence. I say violence is only allowed if you have to defend yourself and your family or your closest friends. Then it's okay. Definitely. And you won't be judged for it. No. You did what you needed to do. You did what was required of you. You protected yourself and your family. You protected them you love against someone who wanted to harm you. Big difference. So if there's anyone over here running around with some stupid idea, wanting to do something in order to make a point, like, put across a point in their way of thinking, ideology, then I would seriously reconsider. If any of you is out there thinking stuff like that, reconsider and don't do it. It's not a good idea. That's not the right way to do it. You can collectively make life very hard for them without trying to harm them. It can be done. Put your mind to it. For God did not give man the spirit of fear, for he gave man power, knowledge, and a sound mind. Satan gives you fear. That's what they give you. The elite gives you fear. Your fear now is, can you pay your bills? Do you have a job tomorrow? Can you put gas on your car? Can you get the food? That's your problem. And it's hardship. And in some sense we brought ourselves to this. We honestly did. Because we, down the road, most of us, forgot where we came from. We forgot to give gratitude for what we have been given. We became navel peelers, butt peelers, self-indulgent, and forgot to open a book ourselves to go out and, broaden our horizon. We let TV be our educational system, and ridiculous school systems like America, which is ranging on fourth last in the Western world right now. That is not good. Not in a country which it's supposedly to be that great. It is, I as a teacher, seeing that is very scary. Because what is coming out on the other end if the school system fails? We're going to have a lot of illiterate people. And that's exactly what they want, those who are against us. They want you nothing but stupid and do as told. Because as long as you don't know anything, you don't ask the right questions. And where do you think they have you? In the palm of their hand. And another thing you need to think about, that is, those people, they turned around and bit the hand that fed them. You are feeding them. You're paying tax. You are feeding them. And they just put more taxes on you. And you're still feeding them. I am too. Right now I don't really have a choice, because the world is put together as it is. It is very, very hard to go out and butt out of the system and just become a nomad. In a country like America, with so many, pretty stupid laws, your way of survival is going to be very difficult. And worse is, there's so many poor people sitting on the streets here in America, in the home of the brave, big mighty America. People that are just as poor as the people in Africa, just as starving as the people in Africa. And sometimes I just think, how dare anyone call themselves great when they can't take care of their own? That's not great. That's complete failure. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone. And that's what America in politics, yeah, playing politics, but you let it happen. That's exactly the nutshell. America is not helping their own in any way at all. It is survival of the fittest in every sense. How on earth can a country then think that they can go out and help and save the world from so-called terrorists? It ain't gonna happen. You don't have the experience in helping. And when the troops, who is more or less brainwashed into what they do in their job, they think they're doing the right thing, protecting freedom and democracy, you know. What about them? What about the poor troops? When they come out there in, let's just say, Iraq, that is the big war, they are there now, and the populace in Iraq is considering the American soldiers as an occupation force. And then again, go back to Second World War in Denmark and the freedom fighters. What was it they did? They fought back in the best way they could. So if anyone out there can't understand why there is someone up in Iraq who wants to fight back and don't care, just get out of here because you're not welcome. I understand that, because you would do the same if anyone came into your nation with guns and bombs and wanted to take you over, like China is going to do and Russia is going to do. You're going to fight with everything you got. Even if it's a hay grabber, you're going to use that as a weapon. Even a ball pen. So I don't see them doing anything wrong except protecting themselves. I call it an oppression and aggression. And if you look upon that they have the largest military complex sitting in Baghdad right now, worldwide the largest, that military installation should actually be placed in America and not abroad. They have no intentions of leaving. So that means the parents out there who is hearing this one, your children is going to war. No matter how you twist and turn it. Because they're gonna get shipped over there, take their term, and be a loyal soldier to democracy and freedom. What freedom? The freedom was taken away. They could have dealt with Saddam Hussein themselves. Easy. But it was not about Saddam Hussein. It was about some certain oil resources. And it was about some certain ancient relics placed in the old Babylon. Some relics which were very, very important to what they're doing now. Yeah, we are talking about portals, yeah. They do exist. It's not pseudoscience. There are portals everywhere on this planet. And yes, they can be open. And yes, they can be open into other dimensions. And yes, there can be some very foul entities in those dimensions they are opening the doors to. And he was given a key to the abyss. Okay? Take that in consideration. Then you know what we're talking about. Oh yeah, they can do it. And they are doing it. And they're going to do it much more in the coming time. And as I said, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the coming of the Son of Man. Those days are coming back. You're going to have some nasty fellows running around amongst you, claiming to be your friends. And if you don't agree on it, you're just going to cut your head off and have a banquet out of you. It's that simple. They ate men back then. What makes you think they ain't gonna eat you now? It says in the big black book, they ate flesh. They ate the fish, the animals, and the humans. They devoured. It's gonna happen again. You need to be ready. There's gonna come some serious changes on this planet. Geologically and demographically. Major changes. Major changes. That's what you need to be prepared for. I don't say you have to be Christians, but you could just go look in the Revelation. Just read it. And then you will know that is not a bedtime story. And if you compare it with the things that's going on right now and have been going on in the past, you see it match up. And you should see this time too that Daniel's timeline fits. 70 weeks after the rebirth of the state of Israel, 1948. 70 week is 2011. It's gonna all unfold now. It's all coming to pass. It is written, and it will come to pass. There's no way around that. I know who my wingman is, and I'm proud to say he's Jesus. I believe he's my savior. I believe he's my teacher. And yes, sometimes I sound like I am a little angry. You know what? I'm allowed to. It doesn't matter if I'm Christian or not. See, you are comprised of feelings, and you can't just shut your feelings off and then you suddenly become some robotic Christian. Come on. Come on, don't you out there have some feelings? Don't you have something you're frustrated about that you would like to have changed in your life? Am I the only one? I can't believe that. We all comprised of the same DNA, cells, hopes, dreams, fears, wishes. We are brothers and sisters. We're made of the same flesh and blood. We just have a different skin color here and there. So what? Big deal. I used to go to school with a lot of Muslims back in Denmark. And you know what? Primarily, I only have good experiences. They were not like which we are painting a picture of them today. There are the radicals, yeah. Those I do not condone any of what they are doing at all. Whatever they're running around doing is stupidity. And they ain't gonna gain anything by doing it. The only thing they're gonna get is someone is coming after them. And who can be so stupid wanting that? Honestly, I would not like that. If anything needs to be done, the change has to start with yourself. And then let that change reflect on your surroundings. And let it be a collectiveness that makes that big change. Blowing a bomb up somewhere and killing a lot of innocent people who has nothing to do with it. And I can tell you one thing, 90% of them don't even want to have discussions about all these things. They just want to live their life with all their hopes, their dreams, their fears, their wishes, with their family, their loved ones. That's all they want, just like you and me. But they are being painted as the bad seed everywhere because of some radicals. And unfortunately, most of those radicals have been trained by CIA. Yeah, you heard me right. CIA. Creating a problem so the federal can go in and bring a solution. And the solution is soldiers, tanks, airplanes, and thousands of tons of bombs dropped on their heads. That's how we create democracy. That's how we create peace, love and mercy. That's the way to do it. The real John Wayne style, right? Tell you what, it ain't working. It's only building up hate. And more hate. War can never, ever mean peace. That's pretty much what I have for tonight. I need to get up and get to work tomorrow. But it was nice for a change coming out here and sit with some thoughts. But those things I mentioned in the beginning about all these measures that has been taken politically, financially, and demographically, meaning troop movement, military facilities moved inland, moved away, reconfiguration of everything, and everything have to be gone so fast. It's not over a transition period, it's just happening from one day to another. You need to look upon those things, and then you need to read what he exactly said. He talked about the future, people. The future. Our future. It ain't looking good. And yeah, I am a Stephen King. I know. I am a fearmonger. Yeah, I know. So what? I'm just trying to shake some monkeys out of the tree so they can fall down and hit their head, and maybe they will wake up and face the music. We are living in parallel times, people. It might seem peaceful and nice and maybe a little hard because of money on the surface. Just open the lid and look down into the rabbit hole and you will see it all. I can't go back from what I know now. I can't. I'm still digging in that rabbit hole. Oh yes, I am. And if I find something, I'll share it with you. Because you need to know. Anytime. That's it. God bless you.
God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore, we will not fear, even though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though its waters roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with its swelling. There is a river whose streams shall make glad the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacle of the Most High. God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. God shall help her just at the break of dawn. The nations raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Come behold the works of the Lord, who has made desolations in the earth. He makes wars cease to the end of the earth. He breaks the bow and cuts the spear in two. He burns the chariot in fire. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge.